compulsions. Now HNI traders have really opened up their books and they're loading fresh positions. Ritu Arora joins us, Chief Investment Officer with Canara HSBC OBC Life Insurance. Ritu, fantastic to have you back and thank you for joining us. Quite impressive the way markets have made a comeback. Nifty is up for the 5th day on the trot.
Yes, it is reassuring to see the market strong again. Markets are trading about 18 times FY16 and 16 times FY17, which for the current fundamental is tad bit expensive. So I'd expect the strength to remain by and large, but market to continue to be in a range Nifty up here from another 150-200 points starts looking very expensive, and the correction of another 150-200 points makes many stocks very attractive. So I expect it to be range bound over the next couple of quarters.
Ritu, some would argue that Q4 numbers will be bad and Q1 numbers will not be all that encouraging. But is that in the price? Because that's common knowledge. Even the Panwala on the street is talking about it.
Yes, it is common knowledge, but I think market will wait for the recovery to set in. I expect Q4, as you said, to be very tepid and dull. While we might continue to see some improvement in the margin and scattered improvement here and there, but we will not probably see a revenue improvement, and growth probably is not coming back for a couple of quarters. I think market will also pause and wait and see a direction in the corporate earnings before we see a new high again.
So how are you investing right now? For the longest time, when many managers who backed quality, they've made money. But are we at that turn now? Because pharma stocks have started correcting, PSU, private banks are taking it easy, and IT is just not going anywhere.
Oh, we remain invested at all points of time. As institutional investors, we have outperformed the indices pretty substantially. And the strategy of last 8-9 months has been selective stock picking, not a secular view on the market or sectors, but bottom-up analysis. So we back quality, we back earnings. And that has played off. And pharma, though as a sector, has many such plays where earning visibility is quite robust. And I think that is the reason that you see pharma as a sector performing. But within all other sectors, there are companies which have sturdy balance sheets, good cash flows, strong brands, and earning visibility performing as well. So we continue to be invested, fully invested in such companies. We continue to have a bias for interest rate sensitives. We continue to like pharma. I would not divest out at these levels. So it is a balanced portfolio, large cap oriented, but in quality.
And what are the sectors where you're not invested, Ritu, and would metals be part of that pack?
Yes, metals would be a part of that pack. I would also wait to add positions beyond what we have in infrastructure, cap goods, etc. I'd like to see a little more of recovery setting in and revival in demand in these sectors. Real estate is another sector that I'm not very bullish on. With the regulator coming, I think there'll be new balance to be found in this sector. It is a positive development, but definitely which will take a time before the market understands the entire nuance of having a regulator there.
You talked about, Ritu, your call on rate sensitives. Would that include realty as well now with the new regulator bill in place? Does that sector now sort of, rewarded a relook?
Like I said, I would like to pause and wait and see the new regulator shaping up, because as of now, as fundamentals of the companies in real estate are very stretched and do not inspire confidence for investment as of now. So I'm away from real estate sector as a whole. I like automobiles, I like banking and all the allied financial services.
Ritu, even though there is a constructive case to buy into autos, somehow even after the rate cut, the numbers have not been very inspiring. With the exception of Maruti, rest of the sector has been pretty dull.
As such, consumption has been impacted, but I would expect the government spending to come back over the next couple of quarters, and also recovery and growth coming back into the economy, I think will benefit this sector, in addition to the interest rate cuts which will likely follow over the next couple of quarters. So I continue to like, and fundamentally reasonably strong companies. So I continue to like the sector largely, but more specifically stock selections and companies. As I said, it is not an environment of sector allocation, but of stock selection.
So is there any pocket, Ritu, which is now looking overvalued? Because, of late one has seen concerns about how richly valued now pharmaceuticals are. We've seen the profit taking which is sort of taking place in today's trading session as well. A brokerage also saying that, perhaps they're now looking richly valued. We've seen that happen, say, about a month back with some of the logistics names as well, where you've seen the stock, go on to dizzying heights and then a slew of profit taking really setting in. Any pockets where you feel that perhaps they are getting into a bit of an overbought territory?
Pharmaceuticals, like you said, look expensive, tad bit expensive, but that's also a sector where you see earnings visibility. So if the market is going to be range bound, they will move and perform in line with the earnings that they demonstrate. IT sector is a sector which worries me. I don't think we have a full understanding of what the currency rates could do to the profitability of these companies. They are stressed. This quarter will see a stress from currency in almost all the companies. Very high quality, good companies, but I think currency will push things haywire a bit over the next couple of quarters, and I would be cautious there, in addition to the sectors you already mentioned.
Ritu, the flow of market seems to be biased towards urban-based consumer names, be it a Symphony or Jubilant FoodWorks or Marico Kaya, and on the flip side, rural-based companies are taking it slightly easier, Mahindra & Mahindra, or for that matter, a Hero MotoCorp. Do you think for rest of the year and for rest of the calendar year, it's time to back some of the urban-based companies?
The rural economy has been stressed a bit. One, I believe direct benefit transfers have kind of streamlined the flow of money. So whatever was excesses that were being created or siphoning that was happening in that part of the economy, I think is curtailed and shows some impact on the consumption. Secondly, monsoons will be a key determinant. Unseasonal rains have wreaked havoc with a lot of parts of the country recently. So monsoons will define, but I think consumption as such overall is dented. Urban is relatively buffered, but rural is more under stress, and next couple of months and monsoons will define if there is any revival there. Government spending will also come back, which should hopefully be in form of infrastructure spending, and that will revive the rural economy where the money multiplier will be much more than we would see in urban.
Ritu, good chatting with you. Thanks much for taking time out and sharing with us your perspective on the markets today. Okay, that's the word then from Ritu Arora. Take a look at the banking pack, because that is now putting on some more weight. And if you were to take a look at the futures and options data as well, some of the PSU ones are now adding more strength. 5.25% uptick now for OBC futures. That should come off you on your screens. The Bank Nifty is now scaling in at the highest point in the day, 2.5% notch up nearly. PNB has made a dash in excess of 5%. Kotak Bank as well puts on more weight, so another 4% uptick coming in there as well. Good moves within the banking pack is what you're seeing in today's trading session. Of course, there are other plays like Tata Communications, which has been holding out well. India Cements has seen some traction for the last two trading sessions. This one has been pretty active, but yes, banks are the ones which take leadership. The breadth is now opening in favor of the advances as well as we speak, so it's almost 80 stocks standing to the advances within the F&O universe to about 62 odd to the decliners. But let's talk about the new kid on the block.